Hello, welcome to English 211. This video is going to be a course navigation guide, and we are also going to go over the syllabus. We're going to go over the important stuff in the syllabus. So the first thing that I want to mention is my contact information. My office is located in the main building of the Espina campus. However, because I live in the El Paso area, I do not go to my office daily. So if you're going to call my office number, the best thing for me to contact you as quickly as possible is for you to leave a voicemail message. That way that voicemail message is emailed to me and I can call you as soon as possible. The other way that you can contact me is through email, and this is probably the best way. My email is natalie@nmsu.edu. However, you can also contact me through the Canvas inbox email function. I'm pretty good at replying quickly. It usually takes me 1 day or 2 days to reply, sometimes even quicker. If I haven't replied in 2 days, then that means that I probably did not get your email. The other thing that I want to note are my office hours. Mondays, I am at the Gadsden Academic Readiness Center from 10 a.m. to 10:50 and 2:40 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. The other days, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I am at the Sunland Park Academic Readiness Center during the morning. If these times don't work with you, please let me know if you want to meet, and I can definitely arrange a meeting at any campus that works for you, and we can go ahead and schedule that at your convenience. So if you're at work or you have class during this time, but you really have a question or you want to get together for me to review an essay, definitely let me know, and I'm pretty sure we can find a time that is convenient for you. So this class is going to center on the sub-theme of transforming identities in short stories, and basically we're going to explore the term identity and how it applies to these 4 sub-themes, which are discovering personal identity, fragmented identity, cultural identity, and social identity. So in this class, we're mostly going to be reading short stories and some nonfiction work that mostly deals with psychoanalytic theory and also psychological works that deal with what identity means. But for the most part, our reading is going to consist of short stories. There is no book required for this class because I selected short stories that are available online. The prerequisite for this class is, of course, English 111, and you should have earned a C or better, and you should be proficient in APA citation methods. Most of you probably took an APA exam in English 111, so you're pretty familiar with APA. We really don't cover APA in this class just because you should have learned it in English 111, but if you have any questions about APA, I can definitely go ahead and help you out with that. So let's go ahead and look at the assignments. You can go ahead and review the syllabus on your own, but basically the class is going to consist of 10 reader responses, and these are going to be due weekly, pretty much. And then 10 discussion questions, quizzes, 2 essays, and a final research paper. For the final research paper, you will also be required to submit a proposal memo. So basically, the reader responses are 1 page, and I do have more instructions on that on Canvas. And also, there's a rubric that is attached to these, so I will go ahead and show you that later. The first essay is going to be a basic literary analysis of a short story. The second essay, you are going to analyze a character from one of our stories. You're going to write a case study about this character, and you're going to use the psychoanalysis theory frameworks. And I'll explain that a little bit more when we get to that assignment. The discussion questions, there's 10 of them, and to ensure that there's active participation throughout the week, you should submit your first response by Thursday, and then your second response should be submitted by Saturday. So the discussion questions are officially due on Saturday, but you don't want to wait till Saturday to post both of your discussions, because then your participation grade will suffer, which is 15 points. Also, I forgot to mention the reader responses are due on Sundays. The quizzes are over the short stories that we've read, or for example, one of the quizzes that's coming up is the syllabus quiz, so that's obviously over the syllabus. Then we're also having an Elements of Fiction quiz, and that is over the entire module. So the quizzes are mostly over the short stories, but because we're barely getting started, these quizzes that are coming up are over the quiz and the Elements of Fiction module. But for the majority of the semester, the quizzes are going to center on a short story. The quizzes are timed. They are short, but they are timed. And the reason for this is because you should already have read the stories beforehand. So you want to make sure that you do that. The quizzes will be due on Saturdays, and please keep in mind that you can only take the quiz once. Also, the final paper is a research paper, and basically for this paper, what you have to do is you have to research an event that you feel had an impact on individual, social, and cultural identity. So we're going to talk about some topics. A lot of people pick 9/11, the invention of social media. I had one student who wrote about the moon landing. So there's a lot of topics that you can go ahead and pick from. One of the important things to remember about the research paper is that you're researching the event, but then you yourself are analyzing how this event impacted individual, social, and cultural identity. So just keep that in mind. The other thing I want to point out are the classroom management policies. Basically, this is an online class, so you want to make sure that you're familiar with Canvas. DECC does offer Canvas training in case you are interested in that, but also you want to make sure that you have access to a computer and to reliable internet connection. If you do not have access to computer or a internet connection, then you want to go ahead and try to fix those issues as soon as possible, because not having internet connection or having computer problems are not going to be considered a valid excuse for submitting late work or missing assignments. As a matter of fact, I don't accept late work. So the only times I accept late work is whenever there is an emergency or you have some sort of documented excuse. So please adhere to deadlines. Also, make sure that you are respectful at all times, especially during the discussions. You want to make sure that you are respectful and you are posting appropriate language with proper grammar and punctuation. So here we have the schedule. As you can see, I broke it up into weekends, and it tells you what you should read for the week, the quiz that we're having for the week, and for example, week 3, we're not having a quiz, but you have reader response 1 and discussion number 1 due. So now that we have gone over the syllabus, let's go ahead and look at the Canvas course. The first thing that you want to note is the syllabus, and you can actually access the syllabus by clicking on here, or you can preview the file by clicking on the magnifying glass. The next thing you want to do is you want to look at the modules. Here we have the modules, and first I have the assignment instructions. So if you want more detailed instructions regarding the essays, you can find them here. Then I also have a module devoted to APA research, and then the rest of the modules are divided by week. So basically I included what you should be covering that week. So for this week, we are doing discussion and we are going over the syllabus. This discussion, by the way, is not worth any points, but that is what will kickstart your attendance and participation grade. Also, week 2, I have the entire module for the Elements of Fiction, and the only assignment we have for week 2 is to take the quiz. So really, week 2, your job is to go over this entire module. Week 3 is we do a little bit of reading. We become familiar with what identity means, cultural identity theory, social identity theory, and then we do our first response. Here I have the reader response instructions and rubric, so you can go ahead and read that to get a little bit more detail on what you're supposed to do. And then week 3 we also have a discussion. So I think that you get the purpose of these modules. As you can see, week 4 is when we start reading, so you should read A&P, Communist, you have a reader response 2 due, a discussion number 2, and that's when I assign the first essay. So even though I have it divided up by weeks, you should still go ahead and look at your syllabus just to make sure that you have everything just to make sure that you have everything in order. So another thing I want to mention are the announcements. Every week I post announcements. I will post announcements on Monday, and I will probably do it around 3 or 4 p.m. But basically what the announcements are, they're just reminders of things that are due for that week. Like for example, this week I posted one and it lets you know what's due this week. And then sometimes I include relevant information or updates. Like for example, I offer extra credit for attending workshops. So if there are workshops that are going on, I will let you know about those so that you can go. So make sure that every week you check the announcements, because this is where I post what's coming up. I link instructions and things like that. So make sure that you do that, just so that I can remind you or I can update you on any changes that might occur during that week. The other thing that you want to know how to navigate are the assignments. Like I said, I haven't uploaded every single assignment. I am still tweaking some things here and there, but for the most part, the majority of the assignments are already on there. And one of the things that you want to keep in mind is that it's okay to get ahead, but at the same time, you don't want to get too ahead to the point where you confuse yourself because we haven't covered certain information. So here we have the assignments, and as you can see, they are not very well organized because they are organized by the date that they were added. So the best way to look at them is to go to your assignment tab, because I think in your assignment tab it looks a lot better than on mine, and then also go to discussions. So if you want to know what discussion is due for that week, you can definitely go ahead and take a look at the discussion that is coming up. So anything in this bar right here where it says discussion, anything here is open for discussion, or it's a discussion that's coming up. Once the discussion is over, I'll move it over here and it's closed for discussion. So like I said earlier, make sure that you post by your first discussion, post by Thursday, and then your second discussion, post by Sunday. Of course, you can go ahead and post earlier than that, but I just wanted to set that deadline of Thursday because sometimes I have students who don't post till Saturday at 11 p.m. and that really affects the others who actually posted on time, but they cannot post their second reply because nobody else has posted. So this is basically what it looks like, and as you can see, I have already replied to some people and some people have already posted. So you want to go ahead and post your discussions sooner rather than later. Also, another thing to keep in mind is your first discussion should be a direct response to what I posted. Your second post should be a reply to a classmate's post. And of course, you can post as many times as you want, but you should have at least 2 posts to get the full 10 points. And make sure that you write in proper academic English. So grammar and punctuation won't count that much, but I do need to be able to read your discussion posts. So make sure that you are clear and try to make them as error-free as possible. Over here in the quizzes tab, we have the quizzes. And basically this lets you know how many quizzes we have and which quizzes are coming up and which have already passed. I still have some quizzes that I need to add, but for the most part, the one for this week and next week are ready, so you can go ahead and take them whenever you feel that you are ready. So that pretty much covers the class. All assignments will be due on Canvas, obviously, so if you have any questions on how to submit or how to upload an assignment, please let me know. I can guide you a little bit better on that. And also, please let me know if you have any questions or concerns regarding the class. As you saw in modules, the stories are either linked or I have provided a file for them. So if you ever come across a link that doesn't work or you're not able to open a file, please let me know as soon as possible so that I can send you an alternate link or so that I can send you another file. So it's great to get to know some of you so far with the discussions. I hope to get to know all of you a little bit better throughout the semester. And like I said, if you have any questions, please let me know. I hope you all have a great semester.